Danya, as an individual performer, has been excelling so far on the side of Poland, and it will be Horizon Lunar Colony, which is to be expected. Korea did take both points on attack yesterday without losing a single player, no deaths on their side. So I don't think you mess with that, but we are going to see May. So we have not typically seen May on these Horizon Point A defenses so far.
It is yet another hero, though, that Flower is known to be good at playing.
Yes, he is. Yeah. He's just going to work through the entire cast of Overwatch heroes one by one as this tournament progresses.
I mean, to be fair, he is pretty much good at playing every hero. But we have, if you've watched Apex in the past, we have seen Flower's May a few times. So, South Korea with that, well, can we call May a tank? Can we call this a triple tank defense? More or less. Triple-ish, 2.5 tank defense.
There you go.
Poland coming in, though, with that lone Pharah. They're going 3 tank, the real thing.
Yeah, another time, though, where there's not going to be any kind of long-range damage to help deal with Moth on this Pharah. So he's going to have free reign when it comes to shooting these rockets over the top. Actually, does get dangerously low right there. He does not have the Mercy pocket healing him in this composition. Danya just going to get walled right out of the point.
Denied. Here we go, Poland coming in now. Toby with the first kill on the Matvoy, though. And looks like the ice block from Flower just staying alive, and they are going to push back Poland for the moment. And you notice South Korea is playing this positionally much different than we see a lot of other defensive comps. We see a lot of big high ground spread comps to the defensive point day. But South Korea knows that their range is low. They know that to defend it with this comp, they need to kind of basically sit on the point and guard the door.
Well, normally you would see a composition like this from South Korea if they were going to be playing Reaper instead of the May. But
yeah, that too.
That's what we've seen many teams do so far since we began seeing Horizon here in competitive play with this World Cup.
I like the idea of the May just splitting the team up as they try to come into the room. It's a classic move with May, and something we haven't seen in a while, but it didn't stop being effective. Poland has another chance here to come back in.
Yeah, Moth trying to at least get some damage around with the Forest, switching sides consistently. He's got Jaehong zoned out right now.
Yeah, Jaehong, you need to win this one. Oh, but there's the end. Wow, he catches him as they try to come up.
Very nicely done.
3 kills from Moth. Meanwhile, the rest of the team charging onto the point. They have got to take it now. They've got to win this one. Flower's got the Blizzard. Probably going to save that, though. Uses the wall again, just trying to stay alive, but there's a direct hit rocket from Moth to finish him off, and it looks like Poland, off of that tricky move from Moth, is going to take point A.
Yeah, interesting too that Danya is going to be on the Diva this map. Didn't mention that at first, but Moth, the Pharah specialist, looking better on the Pharah than he has on the Diva yesterday. And there we making a big difference, and that's going to be a nice objective take right there, thanks to a good barrage from Moth.
First point taken against South Korea this tournament. It's a good start.
It is definitely a start right now. Lots left to go, but they do have 5.5 minutes to try and get onto this point. And Pharah is very effective on point B, especially on attack here, because if you can get control of the point, it's easy to zone people out with rockets at these doors like we're seeing right now.
Now he's chasing after the supports again. He gets Toby, as we can see from the kill feed. Meanwhile, Mano with the nano boost. The Mano comes in, but Cetrox hits that Earth Shatter. Not a lot of follow-up, though. There's a follow-up for Korea, though. And Sabiel B takes down everybody. They still have 3 else to work with, though.
Yeah, Danya not going to be taking too much longer to die right there, so no big stagger for Poland as everybody goes back to respawn. They dealt with the nano-boosted Reinhardt pretty well there with the charge, but couldn't prevent the rest of the damage. Mono now going to be switching over to Winston, much better to deal with the high ground on this particular point.
Yep, and there's the wall. You saw Flower standing right there, ready to split them up, but somehow, some way, Matvoy survives, and Poland jumping down to the point right now. South Korea gonna need a few more kills here. Zumba does roast Moth. There's a Graviton Surge, but they've got the sound barrier to keep them up. Poland getting some kills. The Blizzard might be able to buy enough time for South Korea to get their respawns back, though. Bano with that nano boost again, this time on the Winston. Moth dropped down, like no health left. Moth has like 2 health right now, but he's staying alive, and Poland making some strong progress on point B.
Soon, but not sure what happened to his Graviton Surge in that fight, but the counter Graviton by Matvoy doing the work necessary, catching multiple members of Korea, and it looks like Poland eventually is going to finish this map with a very good time in the bank.
Well, we'll see. South Korea coming back in with the respawns. Mano avoids the Earth Shatter, but still gets taken out anyway. And so far, so good for Poland as they try to take point B
Toby
here.
is on the bastion right now, just firing into the point, while Flower on the Sombra tries to evade some of this damage.
Pops Danya out of the mech. That's a pretty good start here for South Korea to possibly come back and hold this one, but they need to go more. There's a Primal Rage, crucial for Mono. They trap him with the Graviton Surge, but he's still on the point, so they get the kill, but it's still delayed. South Korea really making this one last here.
Oh, they are. Earthshatter, they're going to take down Toby, so they can't focus him on the ground. No damage on the follow-up. Jaehong still dealing damage from the soldier on the flank. Zumba's taken out. Flowers left, keeps using that translocator to get back in and out and heal up.
I mean, right now, Poland doesn't really have any healing on the point. Setrox finally gets ground down. There's the self-destruct. Flower going to use the translocator actually to stay alive through that Diva ultimate and keep the point going, and South Korea may have actually held here.
Wow.
Ooh.
That comeback.
Man.
Just barely enough, 84.5%. And they're still trying to chase down Danya right here. Will grab the kill
Dude, I love
the end to get the stagger.
I love little stuff like Flower using translocator to survive the self-destruct. Just kind of using the delay where he doesn't exist anywhere, technically.
Yeah, that was very nicely played for sure. And it may have been a crucial difference maker in this fight. Flower still dealing enough damage and translocating back to get that EMP. Moth sitting up above with the barrage ready.
And Moth has played well in the Pharaoh, but that self-destruct not going to do anything to him. He's still got the barrage. Ooh, but Sabiel pokes him down with the Tracer, and South Korea holding again. 2 minutes for Poland, and what looked like nearly a sure thing here is starting to look a little bit scary.
But this is where South Korea can be vulnerable, Doa. They only have that one tick, and they used a lot of ultimates. Toby's still going to be very close to a sound barrier right now, but with the sound barrier already up, if Poland can do this quickly, so we see Danya moving to the McCree right now to stop some of the flanking damage. They're trying to shut down the Sombra with a flashbang.
Yeah, Schlapaiso's over on that Zenyatta now. He knows he needs that Orb of Discord if they do win a fight to kill stragglers and finish things off. Oh, but Sabiel finds the pick on the tank with that Pulse Bomb, and already South Korea storming in, pushing Poland back. Sabiel's doing such a great job of being a distraction.
We didn't see it on camera, Doa, but he actually canceled Tank's ultimate with a Pulse Bomb. So the sound barrier, the kill came through, but Tank started the animation, did die mid-ult, so he will have it to use again, but again, more time not on the clock now for Poland.
That is pretty good. Danya on that McCree. On board with him as we walk in. South Korea with a couple crucial ultimates they can use here. Oh, nice that flashbang. Schlapaiso's ready to go with the right click, it looked like. Danya's zoned out just a bit. There's a kill into Schlapaiso, so Mano kind of taking the reins of this defense here. As the team comes in, there was an EMP used, and Moth does get to it, the barrage, but South Korea's got the respawns. Do they have enough to hold it, though? I
mean, this play by Flower, so he waited for them to use the sound barrier, then canceled it from the heroes on the point of Poland, but he would have not had that EMP if Tank had been able to use his sound barrier on the attack earlier, if Sabiel had not gotten that kill.
I mean, we know Sabiel has been a hero for, South Korean esports for quite a while here.
Well, Mothboy has a chance now. They need a huge grab. They have so much crowd control they can get on this point. South Korea maintaining a spread defense, though, not going to give them a lot of opportunities for a good graviton.
And Danya's got a good position on the high ground here. Doesn't matter, though. Looks like South Korea's getting some damage. Zumba not taken out with that Helix rocket. Now Danya chased away by Mano. He's back in there again. Jaehong getting a couple kills on the soldier, and they don't even get to force OT. Man, that was such a good start by Poland, but Korea somehow pulls it out of the fire.
But when we looked at Poland yesterday, Doa, and we were watching their games, it seemed like if they lost one fight, they didn't know how to adapt on the fly. They didn't know how to come back and make the necessary adjustments. But today, they've looked so much better. They've been able to switch out some of their compositions and find answers to what Korea's throwing at them, and they've had much more success.
Well, I talked to some of the guys on Poland actually yesterday after their match and said that same thing. It's like, if you can just get the resetting a little bit tighter, you've got the other kind of skills on the team, it looks like. And we are seeing that improvement. And they already knew that when I talked to them. They knew what they needed to work on, and they've executed.
Yeah, much better in-game communication, clearly.
Yeah.
And it is at least pushing things towards a potential map win.
They don't have one yet.
They don't have one yet. They don't. That graphic.
Ignore that graphic. Yeah, they don't have a win yet, but they're they're close. If they can stop South Korea from getting 84.5% on point B, Poland can win this map, but they haven't quite done it yet.
So Danya will be on the Sombra now, and interestingly, Tank might be moving over to the McCree. So
interesting.
Yeah, just using that Lucio from Schlepeistos and having a double DPS composition with that Sombra. So this is a very unusual comp that we haven't really seen before. Very little McCree on defense here on Horizon.
When we talked to this team on Wednesday, though, when we were doing all our team interviews going into this weekend, Poland said one of the things that they kind of struggled with was deciding who plays what role. And so what you have here is a team that is a little bit more flexible if they want to change roles around like we're seeing here. So Tank, and we'll see what he can do on the McCree.
Yeah, I wonder what they're going to be expecting. Korea should be swapping over some of these heroes back to the Reinhardt for mono. Flower will be playing the Reaper, so they should be speed boosting very quickly around the side to try and get to the point. Yep. Poland needs to dive them as they're coming through some of these chokes. Here it comes.
Yeah, they're coming in hot, and Flower having to back away a little bit. Reinhardt swinging. Flower staying alive, though, for the moment. Man, that passive on his left click, the healing is so good now. Oh, he gets the kill onto Schlepeistos in South Korea with a good start here, rolling into point A.
Well, the big difference maker there, Doa, was that Ryu Jae-hong had the biotic grenade, and as they dove in, he hit everybody, so there just wasn't healing from Poland onto their tank line. And that meant that Reaper was doing a lot of work, dealing so much damage in the front, and that's going to be a point A take.
It's going to be a very quick point A take, and point B can be very difficult to crack no matter what team you are, but South Korea is going to have about as much time as you could possibly have to do it. 7 minutes and 5 seconds to work with here on point B.
It's difficult. I like the fact that Mott switched over to the Pharah again.
Yep.
Was a major success for them on this point. They clearly know how to play around the girders.
And they swapped it back. Tank on the Anna again as well. Danya around that 76.
Yeah, not going to stick with the soldiers. So they do get a kill, and they're going to force a retreat here from Korea as they wait for the respawn.
Oh, and Flower swapping to the 76 himself. Okay. It's a natural pick for this one, obviously much better than the Reaper positionally on this point.
Yeah, it's also a poke composition, right? You want to get 5 people on that high ground behind the Reinhardt shield and have Sabiel be flank and see if he can get anybody picked off with the pulse bomb. So he'll be harassing and harrying the enemy from the side.
Yeah. Oh, Cetrok's getting very low, gonna get taken down. Not a good start for Poland here as they go in. Zunba with 3 already off of that Graviton Surge and the following damage. Ooh boy, South Korea is rocking Poland right now.
Cetrok's still alive, but he's the only one on his team. He's gonna have to get back there. The timer is ticking up. Somebody has to get back to this point. He's waiting. He's waiting. Nope. He was alive. He was waiting for his teammates. I don't know. Didn't make an attempt.
Sabiel looks kind of confused there. He's like, all right.
To get back to the point.
Win?
I mean, they knew the Winston was up.
All right, well. Interesting. But that means South Korea does take the match 2-1, but we do have that last map to play, of course, because maps matter, Monte Cristo.
They certainly will.
Especially when South Korea is 4-0ing everybody. You know, if you can get that one map, that might actually put you ahead of your opponent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be more impactful in the other group that we have here in Katowice because of how tight I think the race between Canada and Russia is likely to be.
I agree. So whoever, you know, it's a fight for second place here in Group E. The second place team looking at probably facing Canada or Russia in the other group. I think that's reasonable to expect after what we saw yesterday. Yep. South Korea just having a ton of fun there.
Well, at least for Poland, they have taken points now from Korea, nearly finished out that entire map, and they have forced strategic adaptations from the South Korean side, which we didn't really see yesterday. They ran rampant with whichever picks they wanted.
Well, they're certainly doing a good job of forcing Korea to play things a bit more seriously today. I mean, we only saw the Junkrat once so far. That's all we got. That's all I got, guys. Sorry.
It's okay. We've seen some other interesting picks, at least, you know, maybe some things that are off meta or out of meta for, you know, specific reasons. Obviously, well, the Poland has gotten a good read on them running the Pharah, especially on that point A.
Yeah.
And I think on King's Row, too, Korea played well against it, but they have the compositional answers here, and they're not afraid to run them.
I was a bit surprised to see Poland play the dive on Lunar Colony defense, because when you talk to those guys, again, they told us they really felt the most comfortable playing sort of poke compositions. Yeah. And that's what we saw for most of their other rounds yesterday against Netherlands as well. So to see them go for that, you know, it seemed like they were a little bit outside their comfort zone, and I think that showed a bit too. Korea fans coming a long way to support these guys.
That's right.
Yang Jinmo, I forget who that is. That's one of the players on the team.
Yeah,
I can't remember which one it is. I only know IDs, Monte Cristo. I don't know real names. This is esports. I know that's one
right.
of their names. I don't know which one it is.
Well, thank you for telling us what you don't know.
You're welcome. Hey, you know, I think it's very important that we all admit in life what we don't know. Nothing's worse than somebody pretending they know something they don't, Monte Cristo.
That's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true. That can cause a lot of harm.
That's right. So it's better to admit you just don't know and move on. And then find out. I'm sure somebody will tweet it at me, see?
Now you'll know for all time after this.
That's right. Twitter is my personal Google.
We do know that it's not Ryu Jae-hong.
Yeah, that's true. We do know that. That's literally his name as his ID. Yeah. I'm not going to make guesses. I saw it this morning, but I can't remember now. It's okay. They don't know my real name either.